Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today for you guys another video, Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going over another character that's going to be releasing here. That is a standard character actually, named Ryuichi Dogenzaka. Now, I may have butchered the crap out of at least her first and last name, but I'm trying my hardest, guys, here. But anyways, this character is going to be our first 5-star standard unit, or at least our newest first 5-star standard unit, because we haven't really gotten any other 5-star fires. If we go ahead and take a little bit of a look-see here, at least inside the catalog, the only fires that we do have is An, who is of course a standard unit, but this was at the beginning of the game, so I'm not really counting her. We have Cattle being a 4-star unit, He being the 4-star unit, and no other 5-star units. So this will finally be our second 5-star fire unit here, in which she could be fairly good, seeing that we've had some really good standard characters, but the question is, how good will she really be? So I'm mainly just going to be talking over kind of like a little bit of I want to say some assumptions, some speculations of how this character could really go down, some things that we're probably going to be missing inside the fire category. And if you guys are interested in that, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. But let's get into it. So one of the few things that we already knew, there's not many characters, especially in this game, when it does come down to the fire type, or at least attribute. We have an AoE DPS here, and inside of at least the 4-star area, we have a healer and another debuffer. Now, this is where things are a little bit interesting. Well, I say debuffer, but it's more like of a crowd control person here, but I'm gonna just say debuffer because let's be honest, that's kind of what that symbol means other than crowd. But anyways, here with this, we have the next character who's being the standard, who is a debuffer as well. We still have yet to get a single target fire character, and compared to most of the other elements, there's already a ton of characters in those elements. For example, we could take at least our blessed team for at least a good example, I guess. We have an AoE DPS, we have a healer, we then also have for the blessed team itself, we should have a defender, and then we are getting 2 more blessed units, which is going to be Akechi and also what's it called, Akechi and Sumire or Kazumi. With those both being at least in mind, there is a lot of blessed units, or a lot of at least units that already are having certain roles filled. There's going to be a ton of things that are going to be actually useful for them, and a ton of spots that, unlike other elements, or at least unlike the fire element here, we don't got many things of it, which is going to bring us down to 2 more things here. When are we actually going to get some of those things, and how will Runa, or at least Ryuichi, actually do here? So let's go ahead and take a look at her characters. So for the most part, in at least the actual stream here, if you guys can check right now, we have her actual looks, and this is fairly interesting because for the most part, I'm actually enjoying it. The looks of this character is pretty darn interesting. She did look like she was a brawler. If I'm right, her weapons were found inside of the what's it called, the battle pass little chest, so that's going to be fairly interesting to see as well. And she has a nice fit. I'm just saying this, not only does she have a cool looking fit, but she also got a good looking fit. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know exactly what we mean by this, but this character is pretty cool. The little fit is actually kind of cute. It's really nice as well, and it's a different mix. It gives that feel of just actually how they really want themselves to be represented. I really do like this because when it does come down to P5X, one of the few things that's fairly interesting here is a lot of stuff actually look really good, like, or at least their actual outfits. There's a ton of diversity, like especially in the newer characters. For example, we got characters that have either look from something like this nature to characters looking absolute rocky and just having their whole feel about it. Witch doctors, totally different compared to how the Phantom Thieves used to look. Just take an example, you got Joker, and then you got boom, and then afterwards you go ahead and look at On. And then when you look at other like Phantom Thieves that have came out now, that are actually newer Phantom Thieves, you got characters that are straight up just, let's go ahead and just check it out, Ren. Like, it's so much creativity when it does come down to at least their outfits and stuff like that, and I really do like that feel. It gives you a representation of who the character is, what they really like, what they stand for, and I really do enjoy this. This is something that's fairly interesting. But the main thing that I really want to go over is how will she benefit the fire team? So if we go ahead and actually take a look at things here, we have of course the DPS being On mainly, and the more fire that's going to be on the opponent, the better she's really going to work out for the most part. Now, a lot of characters are about to get reworked, and it's going to be kind of different, especially seeing how they can really contribute. For example, we are going to have Cattle with more up to just skills in general, but getting the additional skill, or at least additional skill here, that allows him to, I want to say, a defect for healing. So then you can kind of stop that process on enemies, which is very, very interesting. So we have healers, we have all this stuff, and then of course you have Key, where mainly his whole ordeal is being able to actually put different sacrificial things on and actually deal more damage off of this. There isn't many things that really are revolved inside the fire team itself. So what could Runa actually bring, or keep calling her Runa, but what could she actually bring to the table? What looks better? What is actually perfect for this team? Well, seeing of course that we have a 5-star that needs really these burns, of course she's gonna have to proc burns like easy. That's one of the things. She is a debuffer at the end of the day, or a crowd control person. She is meant to really get those debuffs off. So she needs to be, no matter what, actually proccing her fire stacks a ton, especially when it comes down to placing those on enemies. I would like to see at least an AoE debuff when it does come down to burns, and I feel like that's going to be something that they're probably going to follow up on. Though the other thing that this team is missing, if we go ahead and think about at least the characters and what we have here, once they do get edited, some skills are going to be edited around, but I did not see anything about editing with defense downs. Now, of course, I'm only thinking in a mono type of deal here that could really exploit at least On's type worth here, seeing that On is your main DPS. A good way to really exploit that is if they do give her at least a defense shred. If we think about it, we have a couple defense shred characters in this game already. One of them being Rin, the other being Vino. I think, yes, a long time ago where we actually cared about that. We of course have Vino here, but Soy being another defense shred. And there's characters that can do that, as well as navigators can do that, including our Wonder. But we don't have a specific character, especially for at least the fire side things, to actually be able to do that. I feel like it's going to be fairly necessary for this character to actually carry on this defense down probability, at least our property in general. And this is going to be a fun little thing that a lot of us, I feel like, will enjoy. But question is, will she have it? Will she not? Now, I want to know what you guys want to see from this character. Is she going to be someone who's going to be a defense shredder? Is she going to be, even though she is tagged as a debuffer, will she be more of on the attack side? We have seen this in the release past where we do have debuffers that actually can deal some good damage as well. How will the highlights work? How will everything actually go into play? Will her burns be procced off of just an AoE thing, or will she need to be a single target burner, much like some of the other characters that we do have? And if you guys are wondering who that is, of course, Key, Cattle, you got to do single targets sometimes to actually get their burns off instead, or either just do their highlights. So how will she really react, at least in the coming of things, right? With past at least standard characters that have came out, they are really good. Like, just taking a look at least, I want to say the man Cherish, taking a look at let me go ahead and find them here. Well, I guess we can use the navigators as what's called examples as well, where we take a look at Phoebe, Marion. These characters are all stupid good characters for standard characters themselves. So if they could make a fire standard character that's absolutely amazing, who's a debuffer and easily obtainable, who also can proc the burns that we really are looking forward to, would be absolutely amazing as well. And one of the other things that were coming to mind is if she could somehow help out in the attack side of things, like one of her passes or something helps out her team for attack buffs, that would be insane. But you guys let me know down below in the comment section how you feel about this. Do you think she's going to be absolutely great? Are you going to be pulling for her, or are you not going to be pulling for her? If I'm right, she doesn't drop for her at least a long time. It should be 3.0.2 if I'm correct. Let me go ahead and make sure, just I don't want to spread no misinformation here. If we go ahead and scroll up just a wee bit, yeah, okay, it's 3.0.2. so this character should be fairly interesting. We're gonna have some interesting at least doubts with this character, or some interesting views on this character. Are you gonna be pulling? Are you not gonna be pulling? And I'm definitely gonna be covering everything when it does revolve around her, because she does seem pretty cool. I might for once break my promise of not summoning him on standard banner when they first drop and pull for her, because she does kind of strike my interest. But let me know down below in the comment section. Peace out, you guys.